and I had to keep a secret for 2 weeks that Orlando Bloom and Keanu Reeves were coming into our office. I would say my advice if you're coming to New York, bring. And the second we sat down, we just started talking to this girl. We're like, hi, hello, nice to meet you. No idea who she was. Made friends instantly, and she was lovely, and she was saying that she works in fashion, and like, we were like, this is so New York. Like, you would never get that in London. You'd sit next to someone and they'd run off.
Today's episode, I'm joined by Izzy Hunter, and Izzy and I knew each other back when we were studying the same course, master's degree in broadcast journalism at Nottingham Trent University. And at the time, she was already a radio presenter at URN. And I remember thinking, I don't have much relevant experience. I feel like, wow, this course might be so competitive. But yeah, I really appreciate now Izzy joined me today for today's episode. And then now Izzy is in New York, the Big Apple, and focusing on marketing, I suppose. So Izzy, would you mind briefly introduce about yourself to me and the listeners?
Hello, everyone. I'm Izzy. I actually completely forgot about URN, all that experience. So when you said, I was like, oh, yeah, I have done that. Yeah, Belinda and I know each other from Broadcast Journalism Masters, which when you said that as well, Belinda, maybe we can go on to later. But the news about the course, I don't know if you've seen on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They're now closing down the course.
The one in 2026 is the last one.
Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, they finished now. Like they had
Yeah.
their last news days and they're not bringing it back, which is such a shame. Such a shame. I saw it on LinkedIn. I was really surprised because, I found it was such a valuable course and it gave me so much experience that I've taken into my marketing career. And even
Yeah.
though like I'm not in direct journalism at the moment, the ability to be able to write stories, edit videos, to find stories and understand like world media and world news and even like we had credits that were about professional practice and how you work in a newsroom, how you work in a team. That's what my employers looked at and that's what they saw. Rather than, obviously my English degree loved it, but rather than just like writing essays, they loved that kind of practical aspect of it. I think it's such a shame that it got closed down. Sorry, I've got completely sidetracked, but when you mentioned it, I completely forgot. But yes, so I did broadcast journalism masters. I did a few years of working in marketing, and now I live and work in New York City, which is absolutely insane. I'm from the UK, I'm from just outside London. I'm here in New York for a year, so I'm on a program called the Mountbatten program, which is a 1-year cultural exchange to live and work in New York City. Essentially, when you apply, they act as an agency and they help you find a job in New York. You have a placement for 1 year. It's a full-time 9 to 5 job. They also provide, very lucky, they help with your visa, your accommodation, or things like that. And it's been great. It's been really, really fun. I was just saying to Belinda, it's absolutely hectic. New York is insane. New York is as insane as the movies show. It's every day there's something going on. I mean, I swear that I've become so immune to people saying to me like, oh yeah, I'm a presenter on E! News. And I'm like, yeah, of course you are. Like that makes so much sense. There's so many people are so creative here. People are so on their own path. And I absolutely love it. I love it. And it's so easy to talk to people. I mean, last night we were out at a bar and I just met about 10 people in one go because everyone just wants to meet people. Everyone wants to talk and connect. And it's really, really fun. Anyway, so I now work in marketing, communications and finance on Wall Street, which again is very different to what I thought I was going to ever be doing. Like I said, my background is English. I did English as an undergraduate degree, very much drama, writing, and then obviously journalism. So I loved being a radio presenter. You can tell I love talking, a lot of writing, and then to be thrown into the world of finance, it's difficult. It's really, really hard. I found it a very, very steep learning curve. I'm 6 months into the job now. I was just saying to my boyfriend that I feel like I'm getting the hang of it a little bit more, but I feel like it won't be until the 1 year. Then I'll be like, oh, I understand it now. I get it. And I think that's the same with any job. But it's challenging. It's been a challenging year. And I've done about 6 months, I think I said. But so worth it. And very, very grateful for this opportunity to carry this kind of back to the UK and continue on life back in the UK in November.
Right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Do you mean like after this 1 year period in New York, are you going back to the UK? Are you like it's already confirmed you're going back to UK?
Yes. So our visa is 1 year exactly. So
Okay.
I'm going to head back to the UK and find a job in London, hopefully.
Right. Fingers crossed. I think you'll find it really soon because you have experience in New York and it sounds so busy. The way you describe it, I imagine that you say is exactly the same as in the movies, actually giving me goosebumps. I feel that's so cool because I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I traveled to UK and then I imagine London is same as like the ones I watch in like the movie. I feel it's the same vibes in London, and outside London is different. And now you are saying about like New York, and I feel that's so exciting, so busy. And then I feel like you are so like passionate about like marketing as well. It's so I found so exciting. And yeah, you told me about like I also saw about the LinkedIn post like and Nottingham Trent, the broadcast journalism course is no longer there. It's actually sad because I also feel like same as what you'd say earlier, like feel giving me a lot of practical experience, also like news days, and then it's required to do a placement as well. So I did have experience at Knots TV, but now Knots TV is not there as well. Knots TV was closed, and I feel we gained this all experience and is on our CV forever, but some things are not there in reality. But we did carry on those skills and then those knowledge and experience. I feel it's quite lucky to be part of that journey. So yeah, it's been a while since we last met. I believe it was graduation day, 2023.
Yeah,
And now it's 2026. 3 years
yeah.
ago.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Oh my gosh, time actually flies. It goes so quickly. I can't believe that's 3 years. I've got about 4 and a bit more months left in New York, and then I'm heading home. Very end of October, beginning of November. So yeah, it's going to be weird to say goodbye. Honestly, I think I'll be ready. Like, I do love it here. I love it. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And I'm very much a home bird a little bit. I've got a boyfriend back home, like I've said a billion times. Obviously, my family, all my friends are back home. So I am looking forward to coming home and having a bit of normality back without it being like crazy all the time. But yeah, like I said, amazing experience. And I mean, also massive ode to my boss. She's really helped to get me all this experience at my job as well. So like this week, I've got a tour at the New York Stock Exchange.
Wow.
I just how like I don't in 3 years ago doing the broadcast journalism master, if you told me I was going to be in the New York Stock Exchange on a tour with all the brokers, I would not believe you at all. So that's going to be very exciting, and obviously the experience in the London office. So yeah, no, it's just 1 year, but it's been unreal.
You mentioned about the place you work. It actually made me kind of remind me of there's a movie starred by Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wall Street. Is it The Wall Street Wolf?
Yeah.
Is it the same area? Is it?
Yeah,
Right?
it
The
is.
Wolf
I
of Wall
haven't
Street.
seen. I haven't. It's yeah. So I'm in the financial district. So I'm right next door to the World Trade Center. So where the two pools are, where the Twin Towers were, that's where my office is. And they've got I say new, about 10 years old now. It's called the One World Trade Center, which is the tallest building in New York. So I'm right next to that, which is amazing. Very heavy every single day walking past. And when you go to the memorials, it is like you can hear a pin drop. And everyone in my office has a story, especially with 9/11. So that's been great to immerse myself in that experience. But yeah, other than that, I'm in the financial district. Wolf of Wall Street, I'd never seen the movie until I came here. And I remember very clearly when I had my interview for this job, I was like, so with the Mountbatten program, they tell you 2 days before when you have an interview. So they don't tell you you don't know what job you're applying for, if that makes sense. You just apply for the program and they say, hey, Izzy, you've got a job. You've got an interview at this company tomorrow. There you go. That's it. And then you do the interview, then you get it or not. So it's a bit like you've got to prep quite quickly. But obviously I heard the company, I was looking up where the offices were, and it was the financial district on Wall Street. And I was like, I'm in finance. This is it. I'm going to be a finance bro. I'm going to have my gilet on. This is very exciting. And then there are a lot of gilets in finance. This is what I've discovered. I thought that was a joke, but no, every man in finance and women wear gilets. It's just the best that they wear. Anyway, so Wolf of Wall Street, I hadn't watched it until I came here, and when I had my interview, they said, "Oh yeah, don't watch that before you start." I was like, "Oh, why not? Why not?" And then I came here, I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's not like Wolf of Wall Street, by the way."
Right. I thought it's the same. So yeah,
have you seen the movie?
Thanks for clarifying it.
Have you seen the film?
I watched it like several times. I watched the whole thing, the film. I thought you say it's some you say New York, the vibes at the beginning you told me it's like similar to some movies, and now
Yeah.
you clarifying it's not like the finance field, like, the industry is not exactly the same as the movie. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's kind of similar and like there's very fast paced, but a lot of the aspects of the movie, it's not like there's no fraud going on and like craziness all the time. It's not that crazy. But yeah, it's a good film. It's funny.
I remember there was once I saw your Instagram story. Also, you saw some celebrity show up in your workplace. I remember this. I forget the celebrity. Is it the movie star?
Yeah, you know what? I was talking with my friends last night. I was like, guys, we're on this night out. I said, I've got to go home, got a podcast. And I said, I've got to come up with a funny travel story, but I can't think of anything. And they're like, Izzy, every day is a funny story. And I remembered about Charity Day. So where I work, essentially we have something called Charity Day, which is a global project where guest stars and celebrities will come into our work to ICAP and they'll trade on the phone and any money they make and they trade all go to charity. It's made millions and billions of pounds for charity. It's insane. It's associated with the King's Trust in London, hosted by Anne and Dec. It's a massive charity event. Anyway, I had just started the job and I was 3 weeks into this job, into living into a new city, moving away from home, meeting new people, which also I'll tell you about. I live in a house of 13 people, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Meeting new people, new job, all this. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to be like second in command for Charity Day, where we have all these celebrities coming in. And I had to keep a secret for 2 weeks that Orlando Bloom and Keanu Reeves were coming into our office and not tell anyone. But actually, I was the best person to keep that secret. So I'll tell you a secret. I didn't know who Keanu Reeves was, which is really bad. I obviously knew his name. I couldn't tell you what he looked like at all. If someone said Keanu Reeves, I'd have no idea. Now, obviously, I know. But I wasn't that fussed. I was more fussed about Orlando Bloom. So I feel like that name was a bit bigger to me, maybe as a kid, through Hannah Montana and stuff. But no, that was very cool. So then I helped coordinate the day, basically. We had the lovely Michelle who was running it, and I just helped her as an assistant wherever I could, did the marketing for it. I then was in an elevator with Keanu Reeves in my third week of work, which was just insane. And he was lovely. He was very nice. And I was in this big boardroom with Keanu Reeves and Orlando Bloom. And I got a photo with Orlando Bloom. I looked very awkward. I was very nervous and stressed. That was really fun. And to say that I did that 3 weeks into the job, and I got lovely feedback from it as well in my terms of work. So yeah, absolutely insane. Keanu Reeves was great. He was really fun.
Wow, that's so cool.
It was mental.
Yeah. I think I only saw movie start once, and that was in London. I think back when, like last year, I traveled to London. I used to stay in Birmingham. I traveled to London with my boyfriend, and we had like dinner in a African restaurant. And I saw have you watched a movie called Get Out?
Oh no, I haven't. I'm so bad at films, honestly.
Yeah, but anyway, initially I didn't recognize that there was a movie star entering the restaurant, and that restaurant was quite quiet. And then I saw like two people entering, but my boyfriend say, "Hey, that's a movie star," and I said, "Oh, really?" I didn't recognize the face. I'm not good at like kind of see this face and know what is exact name of that person. So and my boyfriend said that is this a movie star from Get Out, from and then show me that is the full name, and then I just approached that guy. Although I was the one being reminded like who is he, but I approached the guy, say, "Could I have a selfie?" And then he's so kind, he's friendly as well.
Oh,
I think he's called Daniel, and forget the surname. But he's the main character of the movie Get Out. It's kind of like a thriller movie, horror movie.
Very
I will
cool.
Google it.
Wait, it's not Daniel. Is it Daniel Clue?
Yeah. It's him. Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So yeah, he's
That's very
kind.
cool. I think it was like my second day. I just met one of my housemates. We went for coffee in Manhattan, and there was a guy sat opposite in this coffee shop. And I'm quite big on TikTok. I'm a big social media gal, especially through journalism. And this guy was sat having a coffee, and I was like, I really, really recognise him. And I said to Georgia, we cannot leave until I know who this guy is. Like, I really recognise him. And I think I must have stared at him because I was really like trying to work out who he was. And I think he knew that I was trying to work out who he was. So then he was talking with his friend, but then he was getting a bit, when he was talking, he was getting a bit loud and he was like, yeah, like when I go to the Met Gala, like this. I was like, oh, he's a TikToker. He has like 5 million followers on TikTok or something. And I followed him from like lockdown kind of era. He did a lot of skits on lockdown. His name is Dylan. George didn't know who he was, I don't think. But I'd followed him for like about 5 years. And I was like, well, I just sat having a coffee with this guy that I followed on TikTok for so many years. Second day in New York, mental. I've got another story I've just remembered. Do you know Trisha Paytas?
No.
I'll tell you this quick story. Right. So it was our second or third day in New York, and me and my friend, I just met this girl. She's my housemate. And we went to go and see a Broadway show called Beetlejuice because it had a YouTuber in it, a girl called Trisha Paytas. Now, Trisha is kind of known for being the queen of cancel culture. So she gets cancelled quite a lot. She's quite controversial. But we thought, why not? We're in New York. We'll go and see this Broadway show that she's in for like a few minutes, but we'll go and see her, and that'll be funny way to start our New York experience. So we rock up to the show, we're in the queue, and who walked straight past us? Not only Trisha Paytas herself walked past us, right? So we're like, oh my gosh, we're really excited. And my friend whips out her phone and she takes a video of Trisha. And she's like, oh my God, look, it's Trisha going into the show. She turns the camera around, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's Trisha. And we put the video on TikTok. Now, this video goes viral. But for the wrong reasons, where basically Trisha made a response. So my friend put the caption something like Trisha walking into the show. Look, it's Trisha Paytas walking into the show half an hour before it starts, which is completely normal. But we didn't really think about it. We literally uploaded it, went to the show, turned off our phones. What a fun time. See Trisha on stage. Crazy. Anyway, we then get our phones out after it. And this video has quite a lot of views. And it's going up very, very rapidly. And I think it was either that evening or a few hours later, Trisha Paytas had made a video in response to the video. So our video was basically her walking into the show. My friend had put a caption on it that said, Trisha walking into the show 30 minutes before it starts. And essentially, everyone had got the wrong end of the stick that we were saying that she was late to the show, which was not what we were saying at all. We were just very excited to see her. We said, oh my God, look, it's Trisha. We just filmed her walking in. We were like really excited. And then we posted it on TikTok with the caption being like, oh my God, it's Trisha going into the show half an hour before. Everyone got the wrong end of the sticks. Or the comments, the video went absolutely viral. The comments were flooded with people saying like, why are you being so mean to Trisha? Like, she's not late. We were like, no, that's not what we were saying. And then Trisha made a video response to our video, and I'll send it to you. It's probably still on her TikTok, of her saying, there's a video going around about these two girls laughing at me, saying that I'm late to my show when I wasn't late. It was half an hour before. And like, they're making fun of how I walk and all this. And we were like, what? Absolutely mental. So yeah, our comments just went absolutely crazy with people saying that we were laughing at her. People were just making up lies as well. They were just saying like, oh, I heard these two girls talking in the queue and they were laughing at how Trisha walked. And I was like, what? Where did that come from? Like, I was just, my friend had turned the camera around to my face and I gone like this. People screenshotted my face and put that into the comments of this video, being like, she's laughing at Trisha. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm quite an expressive person, as you can tell. I was just very excited. And yeah, so that's when we got cancelled by Trisha Paytas, which is funny because she gets cancelled so often. For then us to be cancelled by her, it's almost like an honour to be cancelled by Trisha Paytas. And this was, like I said, my third day in New York. And I was like, yeah, sure. I guess this is just what happens. You go viral, someone gets annoyed at you, and you get cancelled immediately. But yeah, hilarious start to New York. Definitely like such an unforgettable experience with celebrities.
What you say is that the reason, like, because that Trisha responds, and that's why it get viral.
I think it was getting a lot of views before Trisha even saw it, and that's how she saw it. And then she saw it, made a video response, and then it went even more viral. So it just kept going up and up. And poor Mia as well, because everyone was attacking Mia quite a lot because it was her video, and I was just there. I was just in the video. And her mum commented, basically saying, like, please leave my daughter alone. And then all the comments were people being like, you should learn to parent better and stuff. About what? And everyone was like, you shouldn't film people, like, walking. And I was like, if you're a celebrity on a Broadway show, people are going to take photos of you. Like, you're in... Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, why is everyone annoyed at us? We haven't done anything wrong. There was a celebrity on a Broadway show that we paid $50 to go and see, and she walked past us. Yeah, of course we were going to take a photo. Like, that's how I feel. Like, anyway.
Yeah, you guys didn't do anything wrong. I feel like because I'm not sure if you heard of Threads, like the app Threads, like
Yeah,
Insta.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like people on Threads or like on TikTok, like those comments especially, they like to make things up and be so dramatic about something that's not true.
We took down the original, so my friend took down the original video because it was getting too much, and she was like, "I'm just going to take it down." But then everyone was like, "Why'd you take it down?" We're like, "Because you all hate us. Like, why would we keep it up?" Anyway, everyone just got the wrong end of the stick, but I honestly do not care. I just found it hilarious. I was like, "This is New York. This is New York. Go viral on your second day. Insane."
I'm just wondering if you have any like funny travel. Although you just share a few of them just early on. I'm wondering if you have any like funny travel moments you want to share with me and the listeners.
I do indeed. So, for work, went to Boston. I don't know if this is funny. It might be a bit more tragic than funny, but
It's okay. Any unforgettable or bizarre, embarrassed, like fun
okay.
experience.
Cool. So I went to Boston for my work. So I had basically it was like a lunch event that was only for a couple of hours. But for context, Boston is about an hour and a half flight from New York, about 4 hour train. It's almost as if you were going from London to Edinburgh for the day in the UK. We had it booked in for February. And I was very excited because I was excited to go and travel for work and get a bit of experience and also go to this insights event and learn more, about finance and things. And I was going to be like coordinating and organising the event. The day before, in February, we had a huge blizzard here in New York. So all flights, everything got cancelled. I couldn't even leave my house. The snow was literally up to my knees, awful. So everything got cancelled. And we thought we'll rearrange the event. The issue was that this event was specifically to do with EMEA, so it was like a London event, and they'd all flown over to America to host the event. So they had to then fly back, and we were wondering when we were going to reschedule it. Anyway, we did. So first blizzard. So then we rescheduled it for March. And again, I booked my flights, get very excited. The day before, my flight was about 6 a.m, I think, from New York. There was a lot of chatterings of basically TSA, which is security here in New York. All the TSA agents were on strike. So the queues in each airport were very, very long, about 2 or 3 hours long, just to get through security. And I thought, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's 6 a.m. I'm only going to Boston. I'll get there 2 hours before. So the night before my flight, I need to be up at about 3 a.m. to get to the airport. So about 7 p.m. Here in the US, we have melatonin, which is like basically sleep tablets. So I thought I'll take a sleep tablet so I can go to sleep really early at 7 p.m. and then I'll be up at 2 and I'll feel fine because I would have had 8 hours sleep or however long. So I take these tablets. The second I take the tablets, I get a text saying all my flights were cancelled. Right. There are still flights going on. It's not a blizzard or anything. But I'm like, again, it was cancelled a month before. Like, all my flights are cancelled again. But I've just taken these sleeping tablets. So I'm desperately trying to book new flights while falling asleep on these sleeping tablets. I have to text my boss because I've got to get it approved for the business. And I'm fighting against time because I'm half asleep. Also knowing that I need to be up at about 3 a.m. So the next flight I book was an hour earlier than the original flight, about 5 a.m. So I then had to get up an hour earlier than I was meant to. And anyway, so by the time I went to sleep, it was probably about 10, 11 o'clock. So it took me that long to book the flight. But then I knew I was going to be up in about 2 or 3 hours' time. Here in New York, in our accommodation, we share rooms as well. So I just had a really basically bad night's sleep. I had 2 hours sleep from before. I couldn't really get to sleep. So I probably had about, in total, good sleep, 1 hour possibly. So then I get up. I'm ready to go to the airport. I've got all my stuff. I've got 3 bags. I go to JFK. I get a taxi. I get there 2 hours before my flight. The queues are insane. I go and talk to the guy. I'm like, hey, how long is this queue going to be to get through TSA? 2.5 hours. My flight is in 2 hours. And I'm like, right, at this stage, people do not want me going to Boston. They just don't want me going. First of all, the blizzard, then the flight's being cancelled last night, then a massive queue. It was just, everything was going wrong. So I was in this queue. And I thought, at this stage, if I don't make it, I don't make it. I'll just go home and go back to bed. And I got talking to this family in front of me and they were like, we've really got to get our flight. And I was like, yeah, I'm only going up the road, so I'm not that fast. Finally get through. I make it to the gate with 2 minutes to spare. It's literally on the board. It's 2 minutes till boarding closes. So I run through the gate. It's like a film with all my bags. Oh, also, I'm ill. I have a fever at this point because for some reason, I keep seeing memes where it's you're not doing New York right unless you have a mild fever at all times. I seem to be constantly ill. So I had a fever, I was coughing, I couldn't breathe, I was running, I was late. I get on the flight and I relax. And this guy next to me spills his coffee everywhere. And I'm like, great, another thing. It's 5 a.m, I'm delirious. I get to Boston Airport, I land. My event isn't until 11 a.m. At this point, it's 7 a.m. in Boston. What do I do between 7 and 11 a.m. on my own? So I'm in the airport at arrivals. I take a little nap because at that stage I can't be bothered. So I could have gone out and explored Boston, but no, I set up camp on a sofa with my coat as a blanket and my bags as my pillows, and genuinely fell asleep for an hour on the chairs in arrivals of Boston Airport on my own, with so many bags with all the stuff I'm taking to the event. Then I wake up and I'm like, I do feel better at this stage. My cold's kind of gone. I don't feel exhausted. I'd probably had now like 2 hours sleep, which is not that bad. And I have a very strong coffee. Go to the event. The event's great. However, I've got a cough. So then I can't even sit in the event because these are all like well-known clients. And I don't want to be sat there coughing my lungs up and then not being able to hear the speaker. So I'm in and out, and I have a lovely lunch outside, but I'm kind of trying to hear and listen, but I don't really get too much information about the actual insights, which is why I was there in the first place, because I was so ill and so tired. So then did the event. That was fine. Then my flight back wasn't until about 8 p.m. mainly because, again, all the flights are being cancelled. Oh, while I was in the event as well, my flight home got cancelled again. So I was in the event trying to rebook the flight to get myself out of Boston. I just didn't want to be there anymore. Yeah, anyway, the event finishes, and the only thing I know about Boston is that it's where The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody from Disney Channel is based. Yeah. So I go and find The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody hotel. It's not even the real hotel. It's just like based off this hotel. And I go and sit in that hotel for 2 hours because I don't want to sit in a cafe. I don't want to sit in a restaurant. I found like a very comfy sofa and again kind of made like camp in this hotel lobby. At this point, absolutely exhausted, really ill. Again, like 2 hours sleep, just wanted to get home. I then think about the TSA queues. I'm thinking, I wonder if the queues are going to be that bad to get me back to New York. So I go to the airport 3.5 hours early. There were no queues. There was no queue. So then I'm just sat in Boston Airport for 3.5 hours on my own again, back again, because I was there for 4 hours in the morning, back in the same, found my own little sofa again, made my little camp again, same place, had some dinner, had some chips, and then got the flight back, didn't get home till about midnight. So for a 1 hour event, I think I was awake for 24 hours trying to get myself up to Boston and back down. Flights cancelled, blizzards, the whole lot. Anyway, that is my Boston travel story. And it probably was the worst day of my time here in New York, but it's very funny to look back on.
Wow, that's so unforgettable.
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like the whole time is a lot of like sofa and then rest. You are feeling ill at the time also. So do you have memories about that event as well?
Yeah, the event was actually really good. I think that was when I was on top form for those couple of hours. All I remember feeling was just feeling so ill and so tired, and I really pushed through for the event. And the second everyone left, I was like, oh right, I need to rest, I need to go to sleep. And then but just my memories are honestly just sleeping in the airport and then going back to the airport and then sleeping more in the airport and then sleeping in a hotel, or like having like little naps here and there. But the event was great. I'm glad that I did it. It was a round table event of insights for the market landscape. And, like I said, I'm obviously in finance now. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. It's a shame that I couldn't sit in the event and learn more because I was so ill. And I didn't want to cough over the speaker. But yeah, no, it was a good day overall. It was just absolutely chaotic.
Does it mean nowadays like you are really kind of familiar with like stock markets, or like you know some bits about like jargon like those?
I should absolutely know more. And I probably shouldn't even say this on the podcast, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can. It's difficult. There's a lot of jargon that I know more than good, thank God, I know more than I did when I started. But I do remember before, when I got the job, and it was like, yeah, it's going to be finance and it's a trading platform and all this. I went to my boyfriend, I was like, I don't even know what stock is. I don't understand, because I know some people like invest in stocks just here and there for investments. I have not done that, and I've never looked into it. I probably should. So yeah, I was really nervous before I started the job because it just was so out of my comfort zone. It was so out of my realm of journalism and radio and pop culture and all of that news. It's been good. And to us, it is like, we do a lot of, especially in marketing, it's great that I've got my broadcast journalism experience, because in marketing we do a lot of press and PR. So we will send out like our statements to journalists and things, and we'll coordinate with journalists to get interviews done. So it's quite nice to be on that side of things for the first time rather than being the journalist. Like the other day we had a journalist come in to speak to our team, and I kind of help coordinate that. And I do a lot of interviews for our internal communications as well. So just within our company we have an internal platform where we share like employee stories, or stories about the employees, about what they do outside of work, like charity work or any events that happen within the company. I do a lot of interviews on camera and voice audios as well, voice recording, sorry. So that experience from my broadcast journalism, I think, has been so beneficial to my job. It's made me stand out, I think, just as well as marketing and having that experience in marketing, but also to have the experience in being able to edit a video or know how to like write a story has been so valuable. And it's, I think it's part of the reason why, well, 100% the reason how I got the job.
Yeah. I agree with you in terms of like so beneficial and like the skills or knowledge we learn from broadcast journalism as well. I feel it's a shame they are now no longer there. And I feel like it's also the experience I had in the UK, and then also having that kind of know how to do the voiceover, and then like how to film, how to write news, how to interview. I feel that's also one of the reasons make me stand out in terms of like applying for jobs or interview. Personally, I feel that's a really great 4 years, really great 4 year time in my life. But I'm glad you are now like kind of, it's outside of your comfort zone. It's so cool, like it's so exciting. I feel you're so passionate as well at the same time, so that's so cool. And
Thank
New
you. I
York, the
am.
Big Apple.
Yeah, it's insane. I really do. I really love marketing. I know this is probably quite sad, but I really do love it. We did a personality test the other day, and it was you're either an expressive, a driver, analytical, and I can't remember what the last one was. But I essentially got that I was a expressive driver, which means, so a driver is basically someone who's like, right, let's get this done now, full, let's go. But expressive is, it says, let's get this done, but let's make people excited about it along the way. And I think that's exactly, like, I feel like I'm in the right field, and that I love making people excited about what we do, or what I'm selling, or what I do on the radio or anything like that. So yeah, no, I really do love it. And to be able to do it in New York City, on Wall Street, in the financial district, with the view of the Statue of Liberty over the river, it's just, I feel like every time I say it, it's not real. I don't feel like it's real at all. But it's gonna be so great to look back on and say that I did a year in New York. It's insane.
Wow. So 6 months left. Like, do you have any plans? Like, is there any places you haven't been to experience? Is there? I check on your socials. I feel like you have experienced a lot. I'm just wondering if you like for the rest 6 months in New York, do you have any plans that you really want to go there, go to do that before you travel back to the UK?
It's a very good question. There's a lot I want to do. I think I need to plan it actually. I want to do more sports games. I want to go and see a baseball game, like a Yankees game, basketball. Apparently the Knicks. I want to go and see the Knicks, but I think it's very expensive, so I need to work that out. I think in terms of travel, I know a lot of people, like, I would love to. We went to Princeton, which is quite nearby. Obviously, Boston. I think I'd love to go back to Boston again, actually experience that without being really ill. Chicago, or I really want to go to Chicago. That seems really fun. And I know a lot of my friends are going up to the West Coast, which is LA, San Francisco, that kind of area. But that is a 7 hour flight from New York. So that is the same time as if I was going from New York to London. It's about 7 or 8 hours, it's like the same time. So that's a long way away. But America is huge. America is so big. I don't think I quite realized how big it was. When everyone you meet, they're like, oh, I'm from X, Y, and Z. And they're like, yeah, it's just like a 16 hour drive from here. Whereas for us in the UK, like the longest you drive is like 6 or 8 hours, I guess, from like, right at the bottom, right to the top of Scotland. People are like, yeah, drive for like 20 hours all the way across America. It's huge. They wouldn't have, people haven't gone to all of America because it's just so big, so big. So yeah, I want to travel a little bit more. I want to see what's outside New York. Actually, the other day we went to upstate New York, which is a little bit more rural than New York City. And I saw it on, funny enough, saw it on TikTok, because that seems to be where I get all of my recommendations from. TikTok is so useful for recommendations. Honestly, anything you want, you just search it on there. I love it. And my friend said that she wanted to do a hike for her birthday, and I saw this TikTok where you get an hour and a half train from Grand Central, which is in like Midtown New York. Only an hour and a half train, and it's the most beautiful countryside hiking, mountains, rivers, only an hour and a half from central New York. So we went up there a couple of weekends ago, and that was amazing. We did about 4 or 5 hour hike with my friends for her birthday. And again, it was like 30 quid train to go up to this beautiful, beautiful part of New York State. So yeah, I'd love to do a bit more of that. Go upstate a bit more, go and see the more rural areas of New York. And yeah, very, very excited for 6 months left.
Yeah, I watched some of like the horror movies or the thrillers, American movies, and I have the impression of those movies. They have that kind of like road trip and then pass through the gas station and then or sit down like the family style restaurants. Have you ever had those kind of like road trip experience, like travel across this different states?
I love that. We haven't because I think we're all too scared to drive a car here. But I would love to. That'd be really fun. There's definitely like a lot of diners here in New York. And when
Yeah.
you find like good ones, they're really, really good. We've been to a few lovely restaurants. Oh, the food here is unreal. Been to such a few really lovely restaurants that are kind of that classic American diner for breakfast or dinner as well. There's some places that are open 24 hours. Our favorite's called Kellogg's Diner. It's open 24 hours and you can get chicken at like 3 in the morning or pancakes at 3 in the morning, whatever you want. It's so good, so good. So no, but I would love to do. I would love to do a road trip if I can.
Now you're in New York and you have traveled, I believe you have traveled to many places, different countries. Among those places you have been to, you have traveled before. Is there any place or places you really want to recommend to me and the listeners?
Oh, that's a good question. Can I recommend New York? Is that is that fair? I
New
think
York.
yeah. Is that all right? Can I
Yeah,
recommend New
yeah,
York?
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Because it sounds
Uh,
so exciting, you're so passionate about like New York. So yeah,
yeah,
so why you want to recommend New York?
I would 100% recommend New York City because it's just like unlike any other place on this planet. It's so busy. There's something going on every single day. The people you meet are there's just literally no words. Like I really struggle to find the words. So unique. The people are so unique, and I think everyone's so open to chat and meet new people, and the opportunities and experiences you can get here is crazy. And like I don't even know this for free. I'm doing yoga in Bryant Park, and you can do yoga at the top of the One World Trade
Wow.
Center, and all of this, and then someone will be like, "Oh, I know someone who has a VIP table at this place," and then you meet someone else there, and then they invite you to like a press interview, and then a like red carpet, and then the Met Gala, and then the Met Gala's there like one day, and it's just there is something going on every single day, and it's unlike anywhere else on this planet. I would 100% recommend it. I would say my advice if you're coming to New York, bring money because it's so expensive. It's so expensive and a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I thought when people said New York was expensive, I was like, oh yeah, you mean like the coffees and the going out and food. The groceries are so expensive. The shampoo, like day-to-day shampoo, toothpaste, conditioner, dry shampoo, so expensive. It's about, for a packaged sandwich, is about $10.
Wow.
So even if you want to get like a quick lunch, you can't. Even if you want to get like a really quick, cheap, like in the UK, we have a meal deal, for like
Yeah.
£3.50, or it used to be £3.50. I hope it is now. I haven't gone that far away. Um, about £3.50. That's non-existent here. So like the cheapest lunch you can get near my office is about $15, which is so depressing. So I have really learned how to budget. I've really learned how to meal prep for my lunches and for my dinners as well, because otherwise my money would just be gone. But yeah, it's great. Love it. The downside is that it's so expensive to live, but you can make it work if you are careful. I would say it's just, and you like I said, like it's so worth it for the experience and to live so many different like unique experiences and stuff. So yeah, it's quite crazy.
Does it mean it's more expensive? Cost of living is more expensive than in London?
I think so. Probably people have said like, oh, it's similar. I think with the conversion rate, it's probably quite similar to like central London, I would
Yeah.
say. But from where I'm from, which is just outside of London, like it's definitely a lot more here. And the salaries are a lot higher here. Like I know minimum wage is something like $60,000 or something like that, which obviously I don't know what it is, but our average salary in the UK is about 25 to 30K, I think. So with like minimum being 60K in New York, yeah, the cost of living is a lot higher. But then you do the conversion between dollars and pounds, and maybe it is similar.
Yeah.
For me, it just feels very expensive.
But in general, I feel like New York so like it's worth to travel there. In my lifetime, personally, I feel it's so cool because for my experience, I feel like the way you describe New York, I feel my experience will be in London because every day absolutely is different in London, like different things happening, events. But now
Yeah.
you say New York is so different in terms of like you say unique people on the street, and I feel that's so cool. I feel like it's totally different experience compared to London. That's so cool.
100%. We were just saying yesterday, I feel like it's hard to explain. So yesterday we went out and me and my friend got a burger before the night out. There was like this place called 7th Street Burger, which is lovely. They had outside seating, but all the seats were taken. So there was a step like just outside of an apartment that me and my friend went and sat on, and this girl was also sat there. And the second we sat down, we just started talking to this girl. We're like, hi, hello, nice to meet you. No idea who she was. Made friends instantly, and she was lovely, and she was saying that she works in fashion, and like we were like, this is so New York. Like you would never get that in London. You'd sit next to someone and they'd run off. Like that's me. That's what I do. Like, or they've got headphones in, they're looking down there on the phone. But you sat next to this girl instantly. They were like, hi, how are you? What's your name? And then we got her Instagram, and she was like, oh, where are you guys going tonight? I'll come find you later. Instant friend, like insane. She works in fashion, so cool. And she just moved to New York. And I think a lot of people move to New York on their own. So they like really want to make friends, and everyone just wants to talk to each other. So that's what I've noticed about the differences between New York and London is that in New York, everybody's open to chat. I think there's a stereotype about New Yorkers being quite rude and quite pushy and like, I'm walking here and all that, and like, no, it's on the go, and it is. But I think, and you do get that with people. I think there was like two extremes. I think people were either really, really lovely or really, really rude, and there was no in between. But now that was also with the winter. I think the weather has made a big impact. The winter was absolutely brutal. I mentioned earlier that we had a blizzard. We had two blizzards, and it was like the biggest blizzard that New York had ever seen. We had temperatures of minus 15 degrees Celsius, which was so, so cold. So I think everyone was quite not dealing with the weather very well. But now it's summer, everyone's come alive. Like New York has absolutely come alive. Everyone's so lovely, so friendly, open to meeting people, which yeah, I think is quite different to London. I can say that because I'm from near London, but I think as Londoners, we do just like head down, get to work, get on the tube, get to the office, go home. But I think in New York, it's a bit of a different story.
So I want to ask you a last question. Is there any place or places you haven't traveled there? You mentioned you want to go for like different states in the US. And I'm wondering, is there any place top on your list that you really want to visit there in the future, but you've never been there before?
It's a good question. I think if we're sticking to the American theme, I would love to go and visit LA on the West Coast. I would absolutely love to go and do that and experience that, go on the beach and just live like see Hollywood, like all that kind of area. That would be so cool. So yeah, I think I've always said weirdly, I've said that my dream place to travel has always been New York. If anyone ever asked me what's your dream holiday, it was always New York at Christmas time. So I feel very lucky that I've been able to do this for the year. So now it's weird having to change my answer to that question. But yeah, I'd say like the West Coast of America, or I'd love to go to Japan as well. I'd love to go to Japan. So yeah, they're two definitely on my bucket list.
So I believe you were there, said you arrived in New York around last November. Like, did you spend Christmas last year? Like,
I
in
did
New York?
indeed. I
How
did.
was it in
It was, you know
Christmas in
what?
New York?
Yeah, did it live up to the hype? Probably not. I think I hyped it up a bit too much in my head. I think also because I wasn't just here for, I think if I was here for a holiday for a week, I would have loved it. I think because I just moved here and I was kind of finding my feet a bit. I was finding work quite difficult. I was trying to make friends and like my living situation and all this. I found it quite overwhelming. And then to also then be away from home for Christmas was quite a big deal to me. It was the first time I'd been away from home for Christmas. So all in all, New York at Christmas was great. It's just absolutely so busy and so cold, freezing cold. And then like it's literally it's where everyone goes on their holiday, all so touristy. If you want to go and see the tree at the Rockefeller Center, you've got to queue for like an hour. Like it is so busy that I was a bit like, yeah, okay, great. I prefer New York now in the spring, summer, where it's a lot more relaxed. Like you can actually go and like, walk around. Like it's not as busy. Everyone's a lot happier. I think at Christmas it was just so manic. Everyone was shopping. It is like, again, it's like the films. Everyone was shopping at like Macy's and like Fifth Avenue, and that was really cool, and that was really cool to see. But no, it was fun. I'm really glad that I did it. Glad that I was here for Christmas. I think it was just because I just started. I was quite overwhelmed by it and how busy it was. But it did live up to. I'm glad that I did it. My favorite Christmas film is Elf. I don't know if you've seen it.
I'm not sure. Probably I have, but I'm not sure if it's that one. So is that in New York? Oh.
Yeah, it is. It's Will. Is it Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell? Well, I don't know. Yeah, so it's basically about he's raised by elves in the North Pole, and then he goes to find his dad who works in New York City, and then it's about him as an elf like trying like figure out New York and be in New York, and he finds his family there, and he's got like a younger brother, and it's just about his experience in New York at Christmas time, and he meets a girl, and then he goes ice skating at the Rockefeller Center with a tree, and I remember seeing that and being like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like I want to run around New York. You can't run around New York at Christmas because it's so busy. Like you're literally like back to back with people, so it's just not like the film, I think, is what I was expecting. I was expecting like this kind of like, you know, really romantic like film setting, but it was just so busy. It wasn't really like that, but still lived up to the hype. I did really enjoy it. It was really fun.
I'm not sure if New York also have Christmas market.
Yeah, they do. They have, yeah.
It is so different compared to like those ones in the UK.
It's quite similar. It's just absolutely extortionate. So expensive. They were selling hot chocolates for $20.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. And that kind of ruined the vibe for me a bit. I was like, great, I don't want a hot chocolate for $20. It was fine. It was just so busy. Like, I don't think I even stepped into Bryant Park is where the Christmas market is. I don't think I even stepped into it because it was just absolutely rammed, and like you were literally back to back with people as you're walking along. So, yeah, there are markets, but I would say I prefer the ones in the UK personally.
So I think towards the end of this episode, I really appreciate Izzy that you joined me and the listeners. I feel like your day-to-day life is so different. Will you say like when you wake up every day and next day it's totally different? It's just like. Yeah. Working in journalism, and now you're kind of more focused on like finance, like financial stuff, but I feel like the way you describe New York and your life right now is like every day wake up in the morning and it feels like, wow, it's a different day. Every day is so fun, exciting. Will you say is that the case to you at
100%.
the moment?
100%. Every day is completely different. I never know what's going to happen. Any day. It's very, very exciting, and every day is so unique, which is what I love so much about it. But yeah, it's so fun. It's so great.
Towards the end of this episode, I really appreciate Izzy, like you join me and listeners, talk to me, and then I feel it's such a fun chat, and thank you very much to like, especially we are now having time difference, and then thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Belinda. Thanks so much for having me. This was so fun and lovely to chat to you after so many years as well.